Good morning, Ryle Raiders. Today during RAP, your counselors are going to review with you the scheduling process so that you can build the best schedule for you for next school year. Over the next 15 to 20 minutes, please be sure you are paying close attention to the information that will be shared. It will be helpful if you have access to your Chromebook and the materials you received last week during RAP, which included your credit check sheet and your transcript that is in Infinite Campus. Let's get started. Throughout the presentation, if you happen to come up with a generic question that you would like for us to answer, which included your credit check sheet and your transcript that is in Infinite Campus. Let's get started. Throughout the presentation, if you happen to come up with a generic question that you would like for us to answer, which included your credit check sheet and your transcript that is in Infinite Campus. Let's get started. Throughout the presentation, if you happen to come up with a generic question that you would like for us to answer, which included your credit check sheet and your transcript that is in Infinite Campus. Let's get started. Throughout the presentation, if you happen to come up with a generic question that you would like for us to answer, which included your credit check sheet and your transcript that is in Infinite Campus.
And of course, I was at a party with all Bengals fans, so. And of course, I was at a party with all Bengals fans, so.
Good morning and happy Monday, Ryle. Everyone please stand as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hope everyone had a really good weekend. All my Bengal fans out there, Who Day. I know we've got some people in our studio right now that aren't as happy because they're Browns fans, which is just hilarious. That's the joke of the day. But Who Day. So very excited, guys, very exciting. Also, hope you enjoyed your snow day on Friday. Again, just a good old-fashioned snow day. So, guys, make sure we do have some weather coming later this week. So make sure that we are taking our Chromebooks home every night. Today we're going to start our journey, our scheduling journey. Seniors, here in a little bit, we're going to make an announcement. You guys are going to head to the auditorium. And you guys are going to kind of get senior exit information. You're going to talk graduation. You're going to get a lot of different, materials because it's It's almost February, and it's going to be. You're going to blink in. It's going to be May, and we're going to be headed towards graduation. So, we're rolling into that. Everyone else, 9th through 11th graders, today is about scheduling for next year. And I know maybe in your head you're thinking, it's crazy, but this is the time of year that you need to start thinking about what classes you want to take next year. Your teachers have already been inputting classes, some of the classes for you. But this is, today we've got a brief presentation once we get finished with the morning announcements, and then today's the day where you kind of start your journey on what classes do you want to take next year. So guys, take this seriously because we want to have clean numbers. We want to make sure we don't want to have to make a ton of schedule changes at the beginning of next year. So make sure that you're paying attention to everything that's going on because, this is you taking hold of your future. So again, just stay tuned for that after we get done with the morning announcements. Guys, continue to work on the things that we worked on last week. I thought last week was one of the best weeks that we've had this school year. So kudos to everybody, our teachers, students, everybody for just kind of doing what rising to those expectations that we have. Hats and hoods staying off. Let's make sure that we keep up with that this week, especially cleaning up the cafeteria, cleaning up in your spaces. So again, lead with love in everything you do. Now over to the guys.
Good morning, Raiders.
I'm Carter.
And I'm Cole. And these are your morning announcements.
Here we are, live. We're not live.
It would be cool if we were there. I would make fun of Jackson Mahomes and Brittany Matthews.
Pretty easy to tell who's the Browns fan in the room, sitting to my left.
Hey, cool.
So,
Who Day?
yeah, Who Day.
No. All I gotta say is we're 2-0 against the Bengals this season.
But you're not going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Don't say next year.
Well, no, we're not going next year. No, Bengals won't be going for a while after this season.
Yeah, UK won this weekend too, beating Kansas at Kansas. So.
It was a bad weekend for me.
Great weekend for us UK fans and Bengals fans.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, my fun fact of the day, it's dealing with the man that I have a love-hate relationship with, Joey B. He is the first number 1 overall drafted quarterback to lead his team to the Super Bowl within his first 2 seasons. So, congratulations to him.
Yes, he's definitely watching right now.
Yeah.
So, all right.
What's our joke of the day?
Actually brought to you by a family member of mine, my sister,
Okay.
who does an Italian.
Shout out to Miss Alexis Davidson.
Yes. Who does an Italian make a wish to?
I do not know.
A feta genie.
What's our joke of the day? Feta genie?
Feta cheese. It's an Italian cheese.
Feta genie. Oh, genie. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. No, connecting the dots.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Let's get into some morning announcements.
Let's
Carter.
do it.
There will be no social studies tutoring after school today. All other regularly scheduled sessions will occur as usual. Do you like free coffee? Yearbook is giving away 2 Starbucks gift cards every Friday for 12 weeks. To enter, follow us on Instagram, repost our question of the week on your story, and then tag us at Ryle Yearbook and comment when done. If you are a junior and would like some ACT prep classes prior to the March 8th junior ACT test, please see Miss Caldwell in room 125 or Mrs. Lovins in room 207 for a flyer to sign up.
Interested in photography? Ryle Photography second semester classes meet every Thursday in room 125 at 3 p.m. Only 3 spots are left, $75 for enrollment, and that includes your camera rental. To join, scan the QR code on the flyers around the school or stop by room 125 for more information. And any student that will be a junior or senior next year that is interested in applying for Student Council Executive Board should pick up an application outside Miss Ehrenberg's room, which is room 134. Applications are due Friday, February 4th, which is this Friday. And congratulations to our unified bowling partners, Anna Gregory and Cameron Smith. They finished second in regionals, and they are heading to state.
Ooh.
So, and I'm going to leave you something, Cole, or leave you with something, I should say. And the audience, Tom Brady, is he retiring?
You know,
We'll leave it
my
with them.
sources say, which are better than Shefty's, that he's not.
Okay.
Because Schefter, I guess, tried to drop a Woj bomb and he can't do it. But yeah, I don't know. Is he?
That's the question.
That's the question of the week.
Yep.
Get back to us as soon as you can. And lastly, girls play tomorrow versus Cooper at home. Big game, and the theme is business attire. So come in your
Best suit.
best suit. Get ready to rumble. It's gonna be loud. And congratulations. We didn't get to congratulate them on Friday, but Thursday night they won against Dixie, which was probably one of the most fun games I've ever watched. They played a great game.
Yes, it was.
It was very fun. So that's all that we have for you guys today, but remember to stay on for our informational scheduling video, and that's all that we have for you guys today. So take it away, Mr. Murphy.
Good morning, Ryle Raiders.
It was very fun. So
Today during
that's all that we
wrap,
have for you guys today, but remember to stay on.
your counselors are going to review with you the scheduling process so that you can build the best schedule for you for next school year. Over the next 15 to 20 minutes, please be sure you are paying close attention to the information that will be shared. It will be helpful if you have access to your Chromebook and the materials you received last week during wrap, which included your credit check sheet and your transcript that is in Infinite Campus. Let's get started. Throughout the presentation, if you happen to come up with a generic question that you would like for us to answer, please submit it using slido.com using the hashtag questions, or scan this QR code with your cell phone. The counselors will come on live at the end of the presentation to answer as many questions as we have time for. Teachers at this time, please do not send students to the guidance office as we are all unavailable at this time. Teachers, if you would please pass out the green and blue papers that you received on Friday. Students, the green papers list every course that Ryle High School has to offer, along with the course numbers that go with each course. And the blue paper are directions on how you will use Infinite Campus to enter your course requests for next school year. Students, the green papers list. It is incredibly important that you use the green paper when entering your courses into Infinite Campus. And the blue paper are it is easiest to use course numbers rather than course requests for next school year. This will ensure that you are picking the correct It is incredibly important that you use the green paper when entering your courses into Infinite Campus. Also, it is easiest to use course numbers rather than course requests for next school year. This will ensure that you are picking the correct It is incredibly important that you use the green paper when entering your courses into Infinite Campus. Also, it is easiest to use course numbers rather than course requests for next school year. This will ensure that you are picking the correct It is incredibly important that you use the green paper when entering your courses into Infinite Campus. Also, it is easiest to use course numbers rather than course requests for next school year. This will ensure that you are picking the correct It is incredibly important that you use the green paper when entering your courses into Infinite Campus. Also, it is easiest to use course numbers rather than course requests for next school year. This will ensure that you are picking the correct It is incredibly important that you use the green paper when entering your courses into Infinite Campus. Also, it is easiest to use course numbers rather than course requests for next school year. This will ensure when you log into Infinite Campus, if you disagree with what is in there, please talk to your teachers. If they can fix it, they will. If they can't fix it, or they want to push you into honors and you do not want honors, for example, you will complete with what is in there. Please talk to your teachers. If they can fix it, they will. If they can't fix it, or a pink challenge form later on in the process. You will complete. All students must take English 1, English 2, English 3, and English 4, one each year. There are honors and AP options along the way. Please talk to your current English teacher. All students must take English 1 to decide English the best 2 path for you. English 3 and English 4, one each year. There are honors and AP options along the way. In math, talk to your current English all teacher. Students must take English 1 to decide the best path for you. English 3 and English 4, one each year. You have some options. There are honors and AP options along the way. Must go in math. Talk to your current English all students must take English 1 to decide the best path for English 3 and English 4, one each year. You have some options. There are honors and AP options along the way. Must go in math. Talk to your current English all students must take English 1 to decide the best path for English 3 and English 4, one each year. You have some options. There are honors and AP options along the way. Must go in math. Talk to your current English all students must take English 1 to decide the best path for English 3 and English 4, one each year. There are honors and AP options along the way. Must go in math. Talk to your current English, and then you have many options to decide the best path for English 3 and English 4, one each year. There are honors and AP options along the way. Must go in math. Talk to your current English, and then you have many options to decide the best path for English 3 and English 4. In social studies, all students must earn geography, world history, and U.S. history. There are AP options and several electives to take if you want to continue your studies in social studies. Must earn geography, world history, and U.S. history. There are AP options. Additional requirements students must have to earn a high school diploma are a half credit in health, a half credit in PE, a full credit in the vocational or career tech area, a full credit of fine arts, and then additional electives that add up to be 22 credits total. Health, PE, and the career tech digital literacy are available over the summer, first come, first serve. Those applications will be open on February 9th, again under Raider Basics student scheduling information, if you would like to get those credits out of the way and haven't yet. Are available over the summer, first come, first serve. Those applications will be open on February 9th. Some options in the career tech area are if you would like to get classes in the agriculture department, the business or information tech, family and consumer science, Boone County ATC, biomedical, engineering, home builders, and heavy equipment science. In the agriculture department, the business or information tech, family and consumer science, Boone County ATC, biomedical. In fine arts, we offer music appreciation, film studies, theater, dance, choir, band, recording and production digital sound, the third year of a foreign language, so Spanish 3 honors, French 3 honors, and German 3 honors count as fine arts also. If you take AP European history, that also counts as a fine art. You must take chemistry or physics. You must take Algebra 2, and you must take 2 credits of the same world language, French, German, or Spanish. Here are some of the application classes. Again, these are all due on February 11th, with the exception of the dual enrollment intent form that is due on March 4th. The ATC, which is vocational school, home builders, heavy equipment sciences, dual enrollment early college, peer tutoring, gross motor development, peer tutoring art, cross-age tutoring, leadership dynamics, which is office aid, internships, and yearbook. Please check these applications out online under Rater Basics Student Scheduling Information. Here are some areas that are covered at the ATC: diesel, electricity, health sciences, for those that are interested in being nurses, metal fabrication, welding, auto tech, machine tool, home builders, where you learn carpentry and maintenance, and new this year is heavy equipment. Those are all located on the ATC application. Those of you interested in dual enrollment, dual credit early college, the intent form can be found under Rater Basics Student Scheduling Information at the very bottom of that page. There are several options of dual credit available to Ryle High School students. For additional questions pertaining to dual enrollment, please contact Dr. Warford. Her office is located in the Media Center. Let's review the scheduling process. Starting today, Infinite Campus will allow you to enter your requests into the system for next school year. When you log in, you will see some requests already loaded. These will be for your core courses. Please talk to your teachers if you disagree with what is in there. If they cannot make the change, you will complete a hot pink challenge form that can be located in the guidance office. You will hold on to these challenge forms until February 22nd when you receive a copy of your course requests. You will then staple all challenge forms to the course request sheet and make all corrections there. When you're in Infinite Campus entering requests, make sure that you have a total of 6 R's and or E's. These are recommendations and electives. You should have 6. And also, please be sure to add at least 2 to 4 alternate courses. Each year, the offering of courses is determined by the number of requests. If we do not get enough requests for a certain course, it will not be offered, and we then rely on alternate courses to fill your schedule. Again, use the green course number handout when entering courses into Infinite Campus. It is best to search by course number, not course name. If you are applying for application courses and you are accepted, those courses will be entered by your counselor into your Infinite Campus. Our hope is those will be entered by the time you receive a printout of your request sheet. Students applying for dual enrollment courses will work with Dr. Warford and your counselor later in March to finalize your course requests. The portal will close on February 11th. Students have from today, January 31st, until February 11th to enter their requests into Infinite Campus for next school year. Do you have personal questions, more single questions about scheduling, about your specific schedule? Please see the screen for who you will contact. All current 9th graders will work with Mrs. Coleman, who will be their 10th grade counselor. Current 10th graders, you will be working with Mrs. Schilling, who will be your 11th grade counselor next year. And current 11th graders, you will work with Mr. Arkenberg, who will be your 12th grade counselor next year. And again, all dual enrollment options and questions should be directed towards Dr. Warford. All of the materials that have been passed out and talked about can be found on Ryle's website under Raider Basics Student Scheduling Information. There is also a direct link housed on the Counseling Department webpage if you click on Scheduling Materials. We will now go live and answer all questions that we have time to answer. Again, if you have any specific questions pertaining to your specific schedule and your requests, please direct them to the counselor that you will have next school year. Thank you for listening, and we will now go live.
You guys are live.
We're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a few things we want to review with you. The course book, so that you can see what courses we offer and what the descriptions are and the prerequisites. The course book is located on the scheduling website under Raider Basics. You can also get to the course book via the counseling webpage. Also, the student portal has not been unlocked yet, so please relax. You cannot get into the course request just yet. Just keep checking back. It could be until tomorrow when that opens. It is something the district office has to do, and they are aware to open it, but we are not sure when that will get opened. It should be sometime later today or maybe even tomorrow or Wednesday, but you have plenty of time, so just check back. So what we'll do now is if you have any questions, please make sure you're submitting them via slido.com, #questions, and we will get those answered. You can go first, Ms. Schilling.
Oh, sure. Okay. So one of the questions that we're getting is about dual enrollment and counting as an honors for graduating with honors. There is a, what do we call that?
There's a transfer.
Transfer. So yes, if you are wanting to take dual enrollment and you're wanting to graduate with honors, those classes, some of those classes would help you to be able to do that. If you come and get an application up in the guidance, it's on the back side. It'll tell you which ones count.
It's always a good idea, though, to probably, and Dr. Warford will probably want to shoot me after this, but to check before you register and take the class if you're counting on that class to qualify you for graduating with honors. It's just always a good idea to double check that.
We had another question in regards to electives. Electives are any class that you choose to take, and they may meet a requirement or they may not. So if you choose to take music appreciation, that would meet your fine arts requirement, but you could choose to take choir or band. So it just depends on what you want. And I believe the electives are all on the green sheet. Is that correct? That's where you'll find all of them.
One of the most important things you want to make sure that you do when you are able to get into the student portal, make sure that you have your core classes listed. Your current teacher should have put those in. So your current math teacher should have recommended you for the next math course. Your science teacher should have done the same, your English and social studies. If it is a class that you disagree with, you can ask your teacher if they will change it. If the teacher cannot change it or does not want to change it, that is when you will fill out a challenge form Those can be found online and in the guidance office, and those will be due later on down the road once you get a copy of your course requests on February 22nd.
There's plenty of time for everyone to get the classes in that they need to register for. So everyone just take a deep breath and realize that this is a process and it's just going to take a little bit of time, but we'll make sure that every single one of you gets scheduled, no worries. And the questions are rolling in. Not.
Which is good. Hopefully you have a good understanding of what you need to do. I know that Ms. Parks mentioned it in the presentation, but you will be, if you're needing assistance with your counselor, you want to do the counselor who you'll have next year. So if you're a freshman, you would see Ms. Coleman. If you're a sophomore, you would see me. And if you are a junior, you'll see Mr. Arkenberg.
Okay, we just had a question about someone wanting to take a dual enrollment course but not having taken the ACT yet. The first thing you'll want to do is get the dual enrollment intent sheet and look at all the different options for dual enrollment and determine which one you want. Not all of them require an ACT score. If you are choosing the dual enrollment where you actually go to NKU or Gateway or Thomas More and take classes there, that is the one that's going to have the most stringent ACT requirement, and that is that you must meet 2 of the 3 benchmarks and be within 1 point on the third. The last possible ACT that will be accepted for dual enrollment for next year is the one that is in April. I believe it's April 2nd, maybe? You don't know? Anyway, it's in April. So it's too late to sign up, I believe, for the February one. So you just want to make sure that you're signing up for the April one, and we will take that score. If you're a junior and you haven't taken dual enrollment yet, and you haven't taken dual enrollment and you haven't taken the ACT, we will also accept the March ACT that all of you will be taking.
We have a question, who is the Spanish 3 teacher? We can't really say. If they're teaching it this year, they may not be teaching it next year. That's still part of our process. So we cannot guarantee who that teacher would be.
Along those same lines, we cannot guarantee when a particular class will be offered. I know a lot of times when students register for dual enrollment, they for example, they think, okay, I definitely want to take AP Psych. Well, this year it was offered 4th, and so they assume it's going to be offered 4th. You cannot make that assumption. The master schedule changes every year. Sometimes it ends up being similar, but not always. But we're flexible when it comes to scheduling for the dual enrollment. You do the best that you can in scheduling your college classes, and then if there's a conflict once the master schedule comes out, then we will work with you to adjust your schedule.
Someone just made the comment that there's no course selection available in Infinite Campus. Please be patient. We know that is true. You may not have access to be able to enter your courses until possibly even tomorrow, but just keep checking back. This is something the district office has to open up, and they've just not done it yet. So they are aware to do it, but we're on their timeline, so just be patient. You have plenty of time to get your course requests in, but we do know that it is not open yet.
We had a question about dual enrollment. If you take English 101 and 102 as a junior, are you exempt from taking English your senior year? Yes, you can take both English 101 and 102 in the same year, and that satisfies your Ryle English 3 and English 4 requirement.
We had a question. Can you repeat the dual enrollment question about graduating with honors? Do you want to go over that again, Mrs. Schilling?
Sure. So yes, some of the dual enrollment classes will meet the requirement that is needed for graduating with honors that the AP classes typically meet. We have an application up in guidance, and there's a paper showing that, this is what would equal AP US History, or this was what would equal AP Lit. So, but it's really important that you have that conversation either with your guidance counselor or Dr. Warford, because it's not any dual enrollment class. They're very specific, and they align to the AP classes here at Ryle.
We had a question about what electives and what fine arts classes are offered over the summer. The only courses that Ryle High School offers over the summer are health, PE, and digital literacy, and that registration will open next Wednesday, February 9th at 8 a.m. And that registration link can be found on the Ryle website under Raider Basics under student scheduling information, and it is first come, first serve. So we only offer health, PE, and digital lit over the summer. No other courses are offered for credit.
And in previous years, the district offered some summer courses, but we just confirmed that, and they're not going to be doing that this year.
Okay, we have another question. I took ICP my freshman year, so does that count as my chem or physics credit? Yes. Everyone needs a physical science, a life science, and then just an additional third science to graduate, so ICP qualifies as your physical science.
Is FACS a CTE credit? Yes, it is. So it asks if you can meet with your guidance counselor. Absolutely. The best way to do that is just to come up to guidance, and if we're available, we'll talk to you right then. If not, you can make an appointment with Ms. Salyers, who sits in the guidance office.
And just remember, you are meeting with your counselor that you will have next school year. So if you are a current 9th grader, you will meet with Mrs. Coleman. If you are a current 10th grader, you will meet with Mrs. Schilling. And if you are a current 11th grader, you will meet with Mr. Arkenberg. Mrs. Parks will be meeting with all of the 8th graders.
I just had a thought too. Another way to do, if stopping in is difficult, or you don't want to miss class time, shoot us an email. That's really pretty quick way for us to get a response to you. So especially if it's just something like some of the questions that we're having, like what is digital lit? Digital lit is a CTE.
We've got a question, this comes up a lot, about Algebra 1. If you took it your 8th grade year, does that count as your 4th math? No. Every student has to take math every year of high school, regardless of how many math credits that you have. So your Algebra 1 credit does count in the sense that you're able to move on to geometry, and it counts as a credit earned, but you still have to take math every year of high school. So most people end up graduating with at least 4 credits, but probably more.
There's one about going to Ignite freshman, sophomore year, and you did not take a language, and it looks like you're probably a junior this year. Just stop in and see me.
Digital literacy is a CTE credit. CTE is career and technical education, so pretty much anything that can be geared towards a career is going to satisfy that CTE requirement. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
There was a question that disappeared. Here's a question. If you are on a computer science pathway and take Microsoft Office honors, will this count as an elective? You definitely want to work with Mrs. Class on that pathway to make sure that you're in the path to complete it correctly. But Microsoft Office, if you take that, it does count as a CTE elective.
Ryle summer courses, if you go on to Ryle's website under Raider Basics, student scheduling information, and then the section that is for current Ryle students, or all Ryle students, there is a part about summer courses, and I think that goes live. The application opens up on the 9th?
On February 9th.
So you can access that application on the 9th at 8 a.m. And if history repeats itself, it will fill up quickly. So if that's something you definitely want to do, you want to make sure that you're signing up early on the 9th. Someone
asked if you need an art credit. Yes, that is one of our requirements, that you have a fine arts credit. So that is a must.
Here's a question, is website development a CTE credit? Yes, it is. And I'm still getting questions on when the Infinite Campus portal will open. I am not sure. District was asked to open it today. It is obviously not opened yet. So just keep checking back. It may be until tomorrow or even Wednesday when it will open, but no worries. You will have plenty of time to get your courses in. Use this time to plan out your classes and make a list of what you want to enter, and when it opens, it'll take you 2 minutes to get them entered.
Someone asked, is psychology a social studies credit? Yes, it's a social studies elective. You are all required to take the geography, world history, and the U.S. history. So if you take psychology, it would not meet those requirements. It would be considered an elective. Project Lead the Way courses are counted as CTEs.
How do we take the civics test if we have not taken it yet? Civics test information can be found on the counseling webpage under testing, and civics test is listed there, and Mr. Ryan put a great video on there on how you take the civics test. So again, if you've not completed the civics test yet and you want to go ahead and get that over with, that information can be found on the counseling website under testing and then civics test.
We have a question, does Spanish 1 and 2 count as 2 of our elective credits? If you are planning to go to a 4-year college, colleges want you to have 2 years of the same foreign language. So in that case, it's going to satisfy that requirement. If you can just think of electives in terms of, every year you take at least 6 classes. 6 times 4 is 24. You only need 22 to graduate. 17 of those are very specific courses that you have to take, like U.S. History, English 2, Algebra 1. Any other courses that you take to get your schedule full can be considered an elective. So truly, it can be any other course.
What happens if I don't get an art credit? Then you will not graduate. It is a requirement.
Can you elaborate on the dual credit chemistry option for current 9th graders? The only dual enrollment credit option for current 9th graders in the science is a chemistry, and I would talk to your science teacher about that, and that is only for current biology students, I believe. So talk to your science teachers about the dual credit chemistry option for current 9th graders.
If I'm taking dual enrollment, how do I fill that out on IC? So what you're going to do is you're going to just fill out an entire schedule for Ryle through IC. Once we've gotten your application and we see that you meet the requirements, then Dr. Warford will be reaching out and helping you to get those classes scheduled, and then we take care of putting them into IC for you. So at this point, any student wanting to dual enroll, you are going to complete a 6-class period through IC as if you're staying here at Ryle. If you're accepted into the program, we will meet with you and talk about what classes you want to take, and we'll fix your schedule.
Let's see, I plan to do dual enrollment for my junior year, but I have yet to take a language. Is that okay? Anything is okay. It's just a matter of being able to fit in all of your courses. You can even do your language requirements through dual enrollment if you prefer. We actually have some of our teachers here at Ryle that teach dual enrollment Spanish and French. So that's an option as well. You just need to sit down, plot out everything that you still need to take in order to meet all the graduation requirements, and then make sure it all fits in.
There's a question about how do we apply for district-given summer courses. Like Mrs. Schilling said earlier, we were just told by district that they will not be offering any summer courses. So the only summer courses available will be the ones offered here at Ryle for Ryle students, and that is the PE, Health, and Digital Lit.
We have a question about someone took AP Government and Politics freshman year at a different school. Will that count as a geography credit? We are fairly consistent with that, wouldn't you say? I think that most of us would accept that as your freshman credit. The best thing to do, though, is to have a conversation with your guidance counselor, your current guidance counselor, just to make sure that everything is taken care of and that credit has been counted.
What credit does reading English/LA intervention count as an elective? The heavy machinery science? Do you know what that's?
The heavy machinery science is a new option for this school year, and to be honest, we don't know a lot about it, but Dr. Warford has been very involved in getting that up and running, so you would want to see her. But heavy machinery is exactly how it sounds. You will be learning to operate heavy machinery such as bulldozers and heavy equipment like that. So again, that is something that Dr. Warford will be able to help you with, and that application is currently live under Raider Basics student scheduling information and is on the ATC application.
Financial literacy is a CTE credit.
As a ninth grader taking geometry honors, if I take algebra 2 honors sophomore year, will that lead me to trig? Yeah, I mean, you'll have lots of options. If you're really wanting to kind of plan that out, have the conversation with your math teacher and kind of decide what path you're on.
As far as the GPA on the dual enrollment form, it doesn't matter. Either you're weighted or you're unweighted. We'll accept either.
You guys see the one about AP Government, U.S. History?
That's iffy, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say no. If I've taken AP Gov, U.S. History and History 101 and 102, does that satisfy all social studies requirement?
Probably not.
I would
So-
not think so. You would need that world history. Once again, that might be a question you want to see your current counselor about, just so we can see where those classes were taken and if it would meet the requirement. But just winging it, we're going to say no.
If I'm an incoming 10th grader next year, would I be taking dual credit chemistry for STEM careers or non-STEM careers? That would be a conversation you would want to have with your current science teacher. The STEM careers, it would depend on what do you plan on studying in college. If you plan on going into a science career in college, you're going to want to take the one for STEM careers. If you're not planning on majoring in a science area, for example, you're going to major in the area of communications or fine arts or something like that, then you could potentially take the non-STEM careers chemistry.
So we have one as a ninth grader taking geometry honors. If I take algebra 2 honors sophomore year, will that lead me to trigonometry honors for junior year? Probably. I would have a conversation with your current math teacher. They are going to be the most knowledgeable and helpful in making this decision. But yes, typically, if you've taken algebra 2 honors your sophomore year, then you are eligible to move on to trigonometry your junior year.
If I'm taking biology this year and I took ICP freshman year, do I have to take chemistry next year, or could I take anatomy? You could take anatomy. A lot, the colleges, if you're planning on going to college, they want to see chemistry. So you might want to think about taking that and then anatomy your senior year as an elective. But if you're not, then anatomy could be your third science.
AP Gov is considered an elective course, social studies elective.
What if I fail geography as a freshman? When would I retake it? If summer school would be an option for this particular student, if that's something that they don't complete, then you would just take it again next year.
If you took Spanish 1 in the 8th grade and 2 in the 9th grade, are you done with language? You are. You need 2 credits of the same foreign language for college. And if you do not plan to go on to Spanish 3 or dual enrollment Spanish, then you could be finished with your Spanish.
Someone asked about if they failed geography freshman year. Surely not. We've still got time. There's plenty of time. Oh, you did? I didn't hear it. Sorry. Move on.
We're just really
really focused.
Yes.
Okay. The requirements for graduating summa cum laude. You really need to pick up the application in the guidance office that outlines every aspect of what you need to do in order to qualify for that.
I have one student saying, can I just not get an art credit? No, that is not an option. You must get a fine arts credit.
Take art.
Please look at the course book because there are other options. You don't have to take art to get your art credit. There's a humanities class called HAVPA. You could take AP European History. You could take a third level of a foreign language. You can take music, band, choir. You could take visual arts. What else? Theater, dance. There's lots of options to get that art credit in if you're not an art student.
I have all my science credits, so can I take another science class and it be counted as elective? Yes.
We have a student asking about a FAMUNDA course, that they took that at their old school. That is not something we offer here.
I'm a junior and my teacher told me I won't be able to pass English for the year. Is that something I can make up this summer? I don't really even know how to respond. There should be, I mean, the emphasis this year is having a year-long grade book where you're trying to present as many opportunities to the students to master the content in a particular subject area. So I'd like to think that that would be a further conversation for you to have with your teacher to determine, what assessments that you need to redo, what the process is to retake those assessments, to see if there is a possibility of you passing that course for the year. Anything else that you all would like to say regarding that?
Someone's asking if Mr. Fasciato is leaving. I do not know the answer to that question. I hope not. We really like him and we want him to stay here.
If you take HBS for your second year of Project Lead the Way and biology for your science credit in sophomore year, does it count as all 3 science credits? If you've taken a physical science, a life science, and then HBS, yes.
Let's keep our questions just to scheduling. That would be great. It asks, so I can't go to college if I don't do 2 foreign language. It really depends on the college you're wanting to apply. I feel like they're getting a little bit more lenient on that, but you may have to take something at the college level if you don't complete 2 years in your high school. It just really depends on where you're going. So that's a conversation you can have with your guidance counselor, Dr. Warford, or we say, if you pretty much know where you're going, look at their admission standards, and you can find that very easily on their websites.
Do we need to take the ACT to further math after sophomore year if we were taking Algebra 2? No. You do not need the ACT to take classes here at Ryle. You might need the ACT if you plan to dual enroll at Ryle or outside of Ryle. It just depends on the dual enrollment class. But for a typical class here taught by a Ryle teacher, you do not need the ACT.
No. All right, we have someone that needs to retake PE because they were injured and failed. You can retake that any year during the school year if you want to, or you can take it over the summer through the summer PE course. And again, that registration opens up online on February 9th.
We had a question that we've already answered. So if we take English 101 and 102 junior year, are we good with our Englishes for your senior year? Yes. So if you take 101 and 102 your junior year, you do not need to take an English your senior year.
If I want to go into a fine arts career like acting, but can't decide between Theater 2 and Fundamentals of Dance, who should I talk to? That's really, I think, just a personal decision. To me, the Theater 2 aligns more with acting than the Fundamentals of Dance, but that's just my opinion. So I think that's just a personal choice. Either is fine.
Did we answer the macroeconomic
Oh, I
credit?
didn't see that one.
Does macroeconomics count as a social studies credit? It is taught in the social studies department. It is an elective, but it does not count as one of the 3 requirements. You have to take geography, world history, and U.S. history for graduation. Economics, the macroeconomics would be an elective.
We have someone that really does not want to take art because we now have why do I need art to graduate? Because the state of Kentucky says that you must. So our hands are tied.
That's right. How many credits do you need to pass 12th grade again? 22.
If I want to go into aerospace engineering and I took chemistry honors sophomore year, should I take AP Physics C? That would be a conversation to have with either one of our engineering teachers or your current science teacher. They would be able to best advise you as far as what the best sequence of courses would be for you.
How do you take Calculus BC? That is a conversation the math department will be having. You will sign up for Calculus AB, and then over the summer, they will look at the roster and look at scores and determine who qualifies for BC. So that is something the teachers will decide.
The English question in regards to dual enrollment, yes. Whatever you take in dual enrollment counts as a credits here, whether that be your English credit, whether that be your history, or just an elective. So you kind of double dipping.
Do you have to take biomed to be able to take human body systems? Yes. It's a pathway, so you have to start at the beginning with biomed. Are you laughing at me?
No.
Oh.
So once again about the art question. You do not have to take art. You could take dance. You could take theater, choir. there's all kinds of options. So we understand that maybe you don't want to take art, but that's not an option. So whoever this person who really doesn't want to take art, come and see your counselor and we can talk about that further. AP Euro, it is a social studies credit and a fine art credit. So you're kind of double dipping in that as well.
You get 2 for 1 with
2
that
for
class.
1.
If I already told my teacher I wanted to take a 4th year of science but have changed my mind, am I able to change that in Infinite Campus? Probably not, but you can talk to your counselor and we can help you out with that. That's not a problem.
Just do art, bro.
Tell them.
When are ACT forms due for juniors? The ACT that all juniors will take in March, we are handling all that for you in terms of registering you for that test. However, you do have to have a form signed by your parent. That was due in guidance on Friday. We realized we were not here on Friday, so just bring it in today or tomorrow. But we need that for every junior taking the class or taking the ACT.
Does environmental science count as your 3rd science credit and an elective credit? It's one or the other. So if you've met your life science and your physical science, then yes, environmental science could be your 3rd science credit. If you have biology, chemistry, anatomy, and then you take environmental science as a 4th credit, then that would be considered an elective.
There is somebody that really wants to know about the civics test. Again, that is something that students usually take their junior year in U.S. history, so you don't really need to worry about it until your junior or senior year. But if you wanted more information about the civics test, it is on the guidance or on the counseling webpage under testing.
Can you take Spanish 2 in summer school? We do not offer it at Ryle. There are some online programs that you can consider. Just come and speak to your guidance counselor.
Passion 1 is a CTE credit.
Yes, a lot of students will have 4 math credits at the end of their junior year, but you are required to take a math class every year. So even if you have 4, you're at the end of your junior year, you must take one your senior year.
We probably need to stop.
Yeah.
Anything else I missed?
I'm trying to look.
So we're going to wrap this up. A lot of good questions. Thank you. We hope this was beneficial for you. If you have any additional questions, the best thing would be to do is to email your counselor, or if you need to have a longer conversation, then schedule an appointment with them. That's what we're here for. The guidance office is open, and if you come in and you have just a real basic question, a lot of times Ms. Salyers can even answer that for you. So just stop in and see us, shoot us an email, and we'll get those questions answered.
We will get you through it.
We will.
We promise. Everyone will have a schedule for next
will.
year. It's all good.
It is all good. And as Ms. Parks has said a couple of times, just keep checking back to see when the IC is ready for you to input your request. We do not have a specific timeline on that. We had requested it, but it's out of our hands. It's at the district hands. Anything else, ladies?
That's all.
Just a reminder, once the portal does open, it will stay open until February 11th. Also, if you are applying for any courses that require an application, those are due on February 11th, so do not miss those deadlines. And I think we are done.
We are. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Perfect, right at 8:35. sounded good.
Good.